if you could recommend to our audience to do, between 1 and 3 things, 1 minimum, 3 maximum, to down-regulate their nervous systems and mitigate sympathetic dominance, what would those 1 to 3 things?
Let's just start off by saying, I think we need to be a good witness of ourselves and a witness of others. So there's an importance about not trying to fix things, but trying to first learn to be aware of who we are and what we are. So it's the honoring of our bodily state. And I think we tend to say, oh, I'm anxious, I need to do these things to calm down. And now we're anxious about doing the things to calm down. We're a fix-it community. Polyvagal theory is more about the emergent properties of being in different states. And so your focus on flow is the same thing. It's an emergent property of being in a physiological state that is not a state that is supporting fight, flight, defensiveness. So it's a state that enables expansiveness and greater resource of whatever you are and whatever you're doing. So the first thing is this awareness, and it leads into a level of honoring one's own state. And we can even use the word, it's really a practice of self-compassion, which means that we don't evaluate that state. So when you start the question, it's really had to do with evaluating the state. And I'm saying the first step is no evaluation. It's honoring it and understand what that state does for you. And literally say that state is a remark, almost like praying to it. Look what it's done for me, and then, but it doesn't have to be on all the time, so in a sense you honor it. You don't demand from it, because what we end up doing is when we have deficits, we basically try to compensate. And if the deficit is an inability to calm, we'll never reach calmness by trying to fight off the deficit that we can't be calm. So the first one is the awareness of where we are, the honoring of it, the patience, the self-compassion, and the ability to witness oneself. The second one is functionally a series of neural exercises in which we move state and become aware of state. So can be done through breathing, it can be done through movement. So if you're an exercise person, before you exercise, take a few minutes, visit your body, visit the feelings inside your body. And then when you go and do the treadmill or the elliptical or whatever you're doing, and your heart rate's up there, sit still for a minute, listen to the heart, feel what it's doing, listen to your breathing, learn what your body is teaching you. And these are all journeys of what I call journeys of re-embodied. And what polyvagal theory does, it gives a science for safety, but also a science for a nervous system or brain connection with your organs of your body. And we are products of a society that has vested so much of its resources in telling us not to listen to our body. Whether we are children in the classroom or wherever we are, children at home, children in the class, we're still children being told not to honor what our body's trying to tell us. And I'm saying honor what your body's trying to tell us as the first step.